Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to Bluegrass Home and Garden TV. Once again, Kate Horning is with us. I'm still thinking about that crunch wrap, I'll just be honest. I might have bought some stock in, what was it called?
Lavash.
Lavash.
Amber's got a new addiction.
Forget hamburgers on a bun.
I had to finally come up with something to outdo the panzanella salad like 3 years ago.
I still make that about once a week. That lavash, seriously, like I'm like, forget hamburger buns.
Yeah, the texture is
gone.
Good, and again, the protein, you can't beat the protein.
I know, the fiber, love it. Yep. It's a win-win.
Well, I hope today lives up to your expectations because I've got 2 fun things planned.
Okay.
So we're gonna be doing some fun packable lunches. I hear from so many of my clients, like, what do I take for lunch? So that's what we're gonna kind of tackle today. So we're doing like a Mexican style corn, black bean, orzo salad. So it can be served warm, cold, room temperature. And then a kind of springtime poppy seed chicken salad.
Nice.
So yeah, 2 kind of completely different flavor profiles, but this one's gonna be a little more chopping and prep. Okay. So we'll start with that first and we're just gonna dive right in. So I've got orzo that I cooked just until al dente. We were talking about that earlier. Like you wanna make sure you cook it a little under so it has a little bite. We don't want mushy, especially when you're making like a pasta salad.
Yes.
Because it has to hold up in the fridge. So we're just gonna start, you're gonna chop bell pepper, I'm gonna cut tomatoes, and essentially it's really just one of those things that once the prep's done, you know, it's an easy dish, but it's a little bit of cutting. So this would be something I would do on, you know, a weekend, kind of for the week.
Okay. What kind of slice was it?
So we're gonna do dices, like little, so look at the size of the orzo. Whenever I'm like assembling a dish, I always kind of want to make everything work so you can get a bite. So like, I don't know, what is that, 1/4 of an inch? Slices, and I've got this little tiny knife, so it'll take me all day. And this is something I would recommend, you know, doubling, making a big batch of, because you could, you know, take it for lunch, but then you could also have it for dinner the night you make it with maybe some grilled chicken or some steak or some shrimp. So yeah, the possibilities are really endless, I would say.
And what am I doing with these?
So you're gonna put them in the bowl. Yeah, we're just gonna kind of add everything in there. Again, I've got tomato, I've got some black beans. So you could, you know, again, for protein. I've got corn, I've got green onion, and then I thought feta cheese sounded kind of fun. So we're gonna go.
I love feta. Go
with the feta. You could do cojita cheese, or you could do mozzarella. And then we're gonna do a little like lime fajita vinaigrette to go with it. So should be.
Cilantro.
Yes, with cilantro.
Imagine that.
How can we forget the cilantro?
Imagine that.
I feel like that's, if I had cilantro, like you're bought into it.
Yeah, I like cilantro and lime, that combination. Yes, I gravitate towards everything, those 2 ingredients.
Yes, can't go wrong. And if you can't find orzo at your grocery store, like say they don't have it, or you could use any pasta. I would, you know, definitely go with like if you can find like the little tiny bow ties, like a smaller pasta would be ideal. But you could do any, like whatever those things are called, the little spirally ones, those are fun.
Oh yeah.
Fusilli?
I don't know.
Anything will work. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of chop up and dump in the bowl, and then we'll make the vinaigrette when we get back.
All right, we'll be back.
How are you all doing? I love a beautiful bell jar or cloche, and this is one of the new ones we got in recently, and she's just beautiful by itself. But we're gonna fill it up, and these bunny rabbits, which look like rattan or wicker, how beautiful are those? Look, I can take that and I could be 100% done with that. But hey, because we're known for our florals and our details, so I'm going to take this beautiful little moment that you would sit on your kitchen island, for example, or your dining room table, and we're going to soften and we're going to make these little swags. One that kind of sits just inside of that for a little touch, like the rabbits are sitting on little touches of flowers, and then we'll do a little swag on the outside of it to kind of soften it. And we're going to start with this beautiful blue hydrangea, which I think is the prettiest color. I'm going to cut it apart a little bit because I just need literally a little scrap of something. Got a little piece of green because this little swag, this little moment is going to go inside of this cloche, and I don't need much. It's the tendency when you clean up to throw stuff away. Well, that's what I want. I want these little pieces and parts. And I'll add this little piece of boxwood. I'll cut that, you know, about 6 inches or so. Layer him on the bottom. Pretty little texture. And let's see, what else can I do? My friend the ranunculus, I love him. Okay, so we're going to bundle all that together. And I don't know if you remember this, kids, but I love me a good zip tie. So here we go. Now, got that all finished together. I'm going to take a little bit of green sheet moss, and I'm going to step over. I have this, I call it the vat of death, and it is a fry pan that's filled full of glue. So I stuck a little piece of stick in there. This literally is a melted glue, so I'm going to put this glue. So you'll be using your glue gun, but I'm doing it a different way. And I've glued it on there, and I'm just covering this little stem up, and look at that, okay? And then I'm going to tuck him in there and put it back. And that, for me, I think that just changes it, absolutely changes, and it softens it. So our next little layer, how about we stop here? I'll kind of gather everything, and we're going to make a bigger version, and we're going to wrap it around the outside.
Thanks for keeping it here. If you are just joining us, Kate Horning is with us, helping us make some really quick to-go menu items for our lunches, possibly. Because you've been saying a lot of people have been asking for things. Like, I just don't know how to eat, well during the week.
Like, what can I pack? And the biggest thing I see is people who don't have like a microwave. So if you're not in an office, or maybe you don't have a microwave at your office to reheat, like what are some things that you can pack and just eat on the go or at room temperature? Or, I talk a lot about on the weekends, like having something prepped in the fridge ready to go is a good tool to help you stay on track on the weekends. Because I think, we do well all week, and then the weekends we just like,
Even if you do have a microwave, you need to think about what smell that's putting off the office. I'm just a little PSA
Exactly.
there. Not going to call any one particular coworker out, but he is notorious for
microwaving things. Oh my goodness, See, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm like all about that, eat at room temperature. So I've added some lime zest, lime juice, green onion. You got the cilantro. So if you want to toss that in, and then actually I'll let you move this closer to you and you can stir. And essentially we're just going to mix all the flavors together.
I never would have thought orzo and cilantro and lime.
I know. It's a fun little combo.
She knows the way to my heart.
We might need a bigger bowl because then we're going to have to add in those black beans over there. And then I got some corn too, and I've just got frozen corn.
We are going to need a bigger bowl.
I know. I definitely.
Maybe not.
That makes a lot.
Really, this is what we call folding it in.
Gently. So I've got a little lime juice and then red wine vinegar, so about a tablespoon of that, and then I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil is going to go in. So that's going to be our dressing. And a little taco seasoning, fajita seasoning, about a half. I would say a teaspoon, actually.
Look how she just measures nothing.
I know. We'll go a tablespoon, half tablespoon. And then salt, red pepper flakes, which I'll measure those out because I know everyone's not like me. And then the black beans. And we want to mix everything together before we add the feta cheese in because we don't want to break that cheese up. So we really want to get it good and mixed. And then the last thing we put in is about a 1/4 cup of feta cheese. And that's just going to add a little extra.
Am I mixing or not?
Yeah, just gently. I mean, look at all the color. And this would be a good, like, in the summer. I know we're not quite there yet, but to take to, like, a cookout.
Oh, yeah.
Like a little barbecue.
The smells are fantastic.
I know. I think so. And, yeah, so then from here, we just want to mix it up, and then we're going to taste it and adjust our seasonings. And then I like to let it sit for about half an hour before eating it, just to let the flavors melt.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think we're good.
All right. We'll be back here in just a few. Stay tuned. Well, we are here with Jimmy Nash at Jimmy Nash Homes, of course, at one of your scattered sites. We are out in the country.
Athens. Yeah, we're on 10 acres. The customer came to us, they had a plan. They're like, why is this plan so expensive? And it had a lot of brick over the roof and copper that was needed and steel to hold the brick up and all that stuff. Oh, it could be $70,000 or $80,000 just in stuff, the way the house was designed. And we're like, do you even like the house plan? They're like, no, not really. It really didn't look that good.
Yeah.
And do you like the floor plans? Parts of it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to change the floor plan. So let's start with the design. So we do a design, and floor plan, of course, changes a lot as well. And now they got the perfect house. So it's a beautiful house. And it's very cost effective, very upscale looking. So, and they got to pick and choose where they wanted to upgrade at, like 10-foot ceilings and cabinets to those 10-foot ceilings, and areas they didn't want to upgrade. So maybe the fireplace and built-ins and those kind of items. But at the end of the day, it's the perfect house and met their budget. And
I know a lot of people finish out the basements now. This one chose not to.
Correct, yeah. They chose not to, but one day they will.
Right.
And and it's set up so when they do finish it out, everything's going to be there for them, whether it's plumbing, HVAC, electrical.
And, you know, we were joking beforehand, they got this island that's just, you could probably have a little bit of a party, dance party on top of it. It's so big.
Yeah, they have 4 young kids, so it's, you know, big family. And
what else do you really like about this space and this home in particular?
Well, you know, the master suite's beautiful. It's a huge vaulted ceiling.
Saw that.
So it has a great volume to it. And we didn't spend a lot of money on beams and all that stuff. So I feel like the house kind of stands on its own. We're not, you know, it's not like lipstick on a pig, you know. It's like every room has a purpose for them, whether it's in the office or the kids, you know, the second floor, each kid has their own bathroom and walk-in closet. So, and they have a big bonus room upstairs. So although the basement's not finished out, they have like a 500 square foot room, looks like a gym over the garage.
Well, that's a big garage, so I can understand why that room might be a little bit spacious.
You know, they have the efficiencies with the geothermal and
nice
tankless water heaters and all that kind of stuff that we do standard.
So of course, you can build on one of your lots, but you've also got a lot of new projects underway.
We do, yeah. We have some townhomes going in. We have a new neighborhood that we're getting a lot of attention on, very upscale.
The Waldorf.
We're in Nicholasville, doing a brand new home, and in 40502 we're doing a house.
Oh wow, we'll have to see that one here on the show. So is the best way to go online and follow social media, or just give you a call?
Just give me a call, 859-621-8880.
We're back.
Yay, so this is done. So we're gonna just put it aside before we taste it, but I mean, I love all the colors.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Isn't it pretty? So yeah, I'm gonna set this back here and we'll just let it sort of do its thing, and let's move on to our chicken salad.
Yeah, now you prep most of this in your Instant Pot?
Instant Pot, yes. So that's my favorite way if you have one to cook chicken breasts. So what I do is I just take my chicken breasts literally straight from the freezer, put them in the fridge overnight, then the next day I'll put them in the Instant Pot. This one's actually a little still maybe frozen in the middle, but you do it for about 20 minutes and it defrosts, it cooks through, it's so moist and tender and delicious. And then I just shred it with my 2 forks once it's cooled. And you could use a little hand mixer too to kind of speed up that process if you want. But from there, this is my chicken meat. And I do this every single Sunday, like for the week. It's awesome to have in the fridge. Nice. This version's a little different than what I typically make, but it's a fun kind of twist on it. But chicken salad is just you can take it with you anywhere. My husband takes it in the car. He like literally eats it just out of the container. I mean, it's such a good, easy prep ahead.
Throw a few ice packs in there in a cooler and you're good to go.
You could, put it on little cute buns. You could put it in the lavash if you wanted to like do a little wrap. So kind of learn the foundation, like I always say, and then make it your own.
Okay.
So for this one, I'll have you chop. I've got some pecans.
I call them pecans.
I call them pecans.
I mean,
I don't know why. From Ohio.
I don't know.
So that's gonna add some nice crunch. So we have about a 1/4 cup of those and a 1/4 cup of cranberries for some sweetness. So I just love the combination of the two. And we'll get those in, and then I'll let you chop those up.
I'm being very careful.
Yeah, those look perfect. You don't want them too tiny because you want it to add that crunch. So you got the crunch and the chew of the cranberries.
Are we putting that in there?
Yeah, put it in there. And then I'm going to chop up some green onions. And you could use red onion, you could use shallot, you could use a white onion, but I don't know, we've been using green onions and everything else today, so I figure why stop now?
There you go.
So I'm just gonna get those chopped up and then we're cruising.
Do you ever add grapes?
You could add grapes, yep, you could add grapes. This version again is just kind of a different version, but my classic is typically grapes and celery, and then maybe a little dill if you have it, or I grow a lot of chives, so I'll do chives in mine as well. So yeah, I think that's a good place, and then we'll kind of mix up the dressing, and we'll be wrapping this one up and tasting before we know it.
I love a good chicken salad. Stay tuned.
Hi, Richard Weber here from Springhouse Gardens. We've been talking about mulches. In the last segment, we talked about the pine products. We have one that we use in bulk here. So if you're doing a larger landscape job, or like for our landscape installations, this is what we typically use for our soil amendments. This is considered a pine product. It's called Thoroughbred Compost Blend, and it's actually a beautiful blend of thoroughbred horse compost blended with pine fines. So that's where you get that pine mixed in to help offset the alkalinity in central Kentucky soils. So we use a bunch of this for every landscape job. We typically will figure about 3 inches broadcast over each landscape bed, and then we till that into the soil that's existing on site. If it's really horrible clay soil, we might do as much as 6 inches to 9 inches and then try to till that together. But this is wonderful stuff. It's made here locally. It's certified organic. You don't get any weed seeds. There's no pathogens. So it's a wonderful product. So this is available here at Springhouse if you have a pickup truck, but it's not a bagged product. So you have to come and get it in bulk. We sell it by the cubic yard. So this is one great bulk product. Another one that we get locally here is our version of shredded hardwood mulch. So this is also a certified organic mulch. It's called living mulch. So it's a hardwood mulch that actually has the compost element added to it. So unlike other hardwood mulches that actually break down and deplete nitrogen from the soil, this one with the compost element actually feeds the soil. So there's not a nitrogen depletion as you see in some of the other hardwood mulch products. So this one is a really good one. Again, in bulk, you can come and get it by the, we can load it on your trailer, but it's called living mulch. And if you're looking for a nice, dark, even product that is good for, general landscape use, look for living mulch. And this is actually also made here locally in central Kentucky. So something to look for. If you have a smaller project and you can't actually use the bulk product, we do have a shredded hardwood bulk product in the bag, and it looks very similar. It's a little more shredded, almost like it looks like a dark cypress mulch almost. But it is a hardwood. It does not have the compost added though. So it's just basically shredded hardwood bark mulch. So if you need that, we have that by the bag, but this one is by bulk only. So if you have any questions about our mulches, you can come out here and take a walk around Springhouse. You can talk to our staff here in the Garden Center. Our phone number is 859-224-1417. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we hope to see you soon at Springhouse Gardens. Until next time.
Past 2 hours.
Watch WKYT News live and on demand, totally free with no subscriptions. Stream WKYT for free now.
We are back with Kate Horning here on Bluegrass Home Garden TV. We were just talking about, she mentioned lavash, and I was like, man, when it comes to chicken salad, I'm gonna have a hard time passing up a really nice croissant to just stuff this
And
with.
this combo would be so good because we've got the poppy seeds. Yeah. So I just thought, I bought these for a recipe like a year ago, and I never finished using them up. I'm like, what else can I do with it? And I thought poppy seeds and chicken salad, like what a fun combination. So I've got the chicken that we shredded, I've got the green onion, I've got some chopped pecans and some cranberries.
Pecans for all my southern Kentucky people.
Is it?
From back home.
What? I don't even know where I got pecans.
I don't even know where it comes from. I mean, I hear people say pecan, pecan, caramel, whatever.
I just change it every day based on what I'm
Potato,
doing.
whatever.
So Dijon mustard's gonna go in. You can add lemon juice and lemon zest too if you wanted to like brighten it up a bit, but I'm keeping it simple. And then I've got a combination of some Greek yogurt and some mayonnaise. You could do mayonnaise and sour cream, but I just like the protein in the Greek yogurt because why not? And I'll have you mix this up. We might need to add a little more. I do tend to, when my chicken comes out, do this while it's still warm because I feel like it absorbs the flavors better and it doesn't take as much of
dressing,
the dressing. Yeah, where this is, it's been sitting out for a little while, so it's dried out a bit.
Can I see you make your own mayonnaise?
I do, yeah. Avocado, and you do avocado oil and egg yolks.
Follow her on social media.
Yeah.
You will learn all kinds of crazy
I did on Instagram. And you do an immersion blender, and you just take the egg yolks and stream in the avocado oil. And I don't know if I do it all the time, but it's definitely...
Well, I feel like, especially mayonnaise is one of those things, like I'll get it for certain recipes, and then I don't use it for quite some time, and then all of a sudden when I go back to use it, it's
not good. And I love, my favorite is the Duke's mayonnaise. Like that's my go-to. That's what we're using in here. But I do like the avocado oil mayonnaise for like everyday use. So I kind of change it up based on, so I did 2 tablespoons each, and then I added a little more Greek yogurt. I'll probably add a tiny bit more mayonnaise, but I'm not gonna run and grab it now. But then from there, you just add a pinch of salt. So I season my chicken in the Instant Pot, but again, you want to season every layer.
Did you do it with salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper, yeah. And if you want a really next level flavor, cook it in some veggie stock or some chicken stock.
Oh, okay.
And also a tip to kind of cut down on the amount of dressing that you use is when you cook it in the veggie stock or chicken stock, save a little bit and then stir it in again when you're making this, and it gives kind of that moisture. But that looks pretty good. And then from there, again, kind of like the pasta salad, I'll put it aside into the fridge for, half an hour to just let the flavors kind of develop. And you could prep, again, both of these on a Sunday and have, your whole week's worth of lunches done in, 20 minutes?
Yeah, and I've seen you use mason jars.
Yes, I do mason
How cute would these
yes,
being like little mason jars?
I mean,
not
this
like big quart.
Yeah, I'll grab one and we'll assemble one and kind of show them. But that is great. Again, to eat in the car, it's easy. You grab it out of your cooler. You got your fork.
Well, and I love storing it in glass anyway because I just
feel
better about it. I just feel better.
Yeah, I agree. So when we come back, we'll give it all a taste and see how we did.
Right. Stay tuned.
And we're back, and as I referenced when we our first segment, is I'm going to make a larger swag that kind of wraps around the outside of it. So I've taken these larger boxwood stems, and I'm going to cut it off pretty short. And I'm going to put those together, so I'm going to lay it down. So let me show you this. Basically, I'm making the shape of a C. So now I'm going to go shopping, and let's get us some pretty tulips in here. And these, I've been cutting on these, making other things this morning. So I've cut several off. So this is like a half bundle. So I'm trimming it up. And let's trim off some of this stem here because I don't need all that. Okay, beautiful. I'm kind of looking as I'm doing this, what else am I going to use? So I'm going to lay these tulips on top of this, like a little bed. Got my beautiful hydrangea, and I'm going to lay it off to the side. And what else do I want? Let's get this bundle of ranunculus. Can't ever go wrong, because I've got ranunculus inside of the container, and it makes sense to kind of connect the dots. So let's do that. Okay. Let's take that and lay it on top of that. So, like how we made this little tiny bouquet a minute ago, how I laid everything on top of it. I'm just doing a slightly bigger version of that. And it's, again, I've done shows and segments where I've called it a drop-in bouquet. It's kind of the same idea. So I'm zip tying it together. Okay, cut my zip tie off. Now, put this little greenery and tulips, and let's get a few ranunculus in there just for good measure. And guess what? Zip tie. Okay. Now, looks like we've worked really, really hard, right? But we haven't. So we got two pieces. It wasn't nowhere else, but we want to turn it into one. We're just going to lay one on top of the other and do a bigger zip tie. And zip tie that. Okay, now, all these little individual pieces becomes one thing. And the common thread is I use a zip tie to tie it together. So I'm going to lay that around it, and our little final piece of the puzzle, we're going to make a bow. So I'm going to loop my little ribbon together, loop, loop, cut, cut. It's probably time to do another segment, and maybe we'll do it in the next couple of weeks. That we'll go back to bow making 101, and we'll have Amber join us. And because I'm not going today, I don't have it in me to teach you how to make a bow. I just don't have it in me. So, trimming it up, finish it up, lay it around that. Look at this little swaggy. You, my children, have a beautiful moment. Come and see me. 1148 Industry Road or housebyjsd.com. You can find a lot of this stuff. Thanks.
All right, well, Kate took my little suggestion about the mason jars and ran with it.
I mean, how freaking cute is that?
Yeah.
And you could, like I was telling you earlier, you could put them all, portion them out for the week and line them up in your fridge and just kind of grab and go. Like,
cute little label saying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
yes, and then just open it up in your car, pull it out of your little cooler, and get your fork, and there you go. I mean, and you could do the same thing with chicken salad in a smaller one.
When food looks good or the presentation, the containers look good, it just feels like it tastes better.
I agree.
Maybe it's just me.
And I love opening my fridge and seeing stuff in there that I can grab, because when you have healthy options, it's so much easier than when you're like, what am I gonna make? And that's why I'm such a big meal planning fan because I'm just like, if I can have stuff that I know is ready, I'm always prepared. So let's give them a try. So here's some of the orzo salad. And again, we were talking about the colors are just
like a little bit of everything.
I know. I mean, look how good that looks. And it smells good, and that little fajita seasoning with the cilantro and the lime and the vinegar. I love the crunch of the raw bell pepper.
That is good. Very light.
And if corn's in season, you could use corn and saute it up real quick, but honestly, the frozen's just so easy when you're doing something like this to just dump in. You could use canned corn too.
As well.
I love the black beans.
And it kind of gives you like little punches of flavor even after. Because you're getting bits of the cilantro and the lime and everything.
More red pepper flakes on mine, but that's just me. Let's try the chicken salad. So we just mix it up, set it aside, let it kind of, all the flavor. So you gotta get the cranberry.
I'm trying to make sure I got a cranberry.
And the pecans.
I don't think I have a cranberry.
I know, and the green onion.
Oh,
I know,
well.
it's so hard to get it all. Sweet, crunchy. Poppy seeds add just that little pop of flavor.
Really good.
These would be dang good on a croissant. I didn't even think about a croissant.
Oh, yeah.
Like for,
Or even on the lettuce wraps. Oh, there's a cranberry. Oh, hold on.
yeah, you gotta get the sweet with the salty. And I love adding pecans, because of that crunch. It's a nice crunch. And I didn't toast them because I'm lazy, but for more flavor, I would definitely toast them. Well, we nailed it again. And notice how that orzo is al dente. It's not mushy.
I love the poppy in it. I would not have thought that.
Yeah.
But that's really good. You could also do like dried cherries or something too. So.
Dried cherries would be good. I mean, really anything. It's one of those things that like learn the base, and I'm always a half and half mayonnaise and Greek yogurt, and then a little bit of mustard just for that tang. And then from there, it's whatever, you know, I love putting celery. I love the crunch of celery.
Yeah. I'm all about the textures and flavor profiles and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never in a million years before I met Kate cooked with so much fresh herbs and spices. And
If you're gonna eat healthy, it's the only way to do it because it tastes good. It has to taste good or you're not gonna stick with it.
I have convinced a couple of kiddos, not necessarily mine, other people's kiddos, about like Brussels sprouts, zucchini. They're like, oh, absolutely not. No, never, never, never. I was like, give me enough garlic and some Celtic salt.
Yes, it's the salt too. You can really taste the salt in that chicken salad.
I think I've got several people ordering Celtic salt now by bulk, by 5-pound bags, thanks to you.
It's a game changer. Again, the goal here is flavor, 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 and I think we've accomplished that today.
Absolutely. Let's tell them how they can get a hold of this and learn more about recipes and different things.
All the information about me is katehorning.com. You can check out my website, see a Healthy Passion My Meal Planning app, and cook these recipes for your own family.
Yeah, and if you do, share them with us on social media. Tag us and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.